360. Check that it's streaming. Yeah, we're there. We're there.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Did you just say it's Tuesday?
Yeah.
Wow, who knew?
Is it not Tuesday?
Oh, it is. Well,
Yeah.
I knew.
It's Tuesday today, Nicola. And what topic have we got today, guys? Right, so we're doing this little thing between the two of us, okay? Because we want to make this really organic and crazy. And the only way you're going to get that is if we don't plan. So we haven't planned anything for the next 2 weeks, apart from we're going to give you a lesson that's relatable to everyone, to do with business, to do with home life, but also we have experience in. But what we're doing is surprising each other every day, and alternatively, we're going to pick a topic. So I have no idea what Nicola's going to pick today. Nick, enlighten us all.
Or do you know what? Like, there's this really big temptation to say, today, Vic, we're going to talk about spreadsheets specifically, like for accounts, just to see your reaction. But that isn't what I've picked to today. And but the great thing is, we've got so much experience between us. And when I say experience, I know that people's first thought is like, experience means that you're brilliant at everything. And it's not what experience is. Experience is about mistakes, which brings me to today's topic, right? Perfectionism. Perfectionism is today's topic. And why have I picked that? I've picked that because number one, I'm a recovering perfectionist. So like I feel like it's coming from a really good angle, like to be able to share how I've helped myself not to be a perfectionist. Um, Secondly, it's probably one of the biggest topics with people that we work with in 360, where they get hung up on perfectionism. So, Vic, what do you
I
think?
cannot believe you have picked that topic. Honestly, today it has been one of the funniest days today for me because, as everyone knows, I mean, people do think that I am a perfectionist, right? They absolutely think I am. And there is part of me that used to be, and there is still part of me that wants to be, but I'm stuck in that very middle ground. And I have got an incredible experience today of that. So,
Go
Nick,
on, share, Vic, share.
I told you I had a story to tell you, and I said, "Oh, I'll tell you after the call because we were running
Yeah,
late. We wanted to do it 1:15. I'm going to share it now." Right, so went and did my food shop as normal, got some Christmas bits, see these Christmas stencils for the windows and some snow spray, and I was like, right, I've not done any Christmas decorations for the kids, so I'm going to get this, I'm going to do the front window. Yeah. If anyone has successfully given a demonstration or successfully created a Christmas snow window, I absolutely applaud you, okay? Because when Nicholas sent me the Zoom link, I actually didn't have any trousers on, okay? Now, the reason I had no trousers on is because I had sprayed the window 3 times. I've got rid of it 3 times with window cleaner. I've used the stencils. I've got snow spray in my hair. I've got it all over my hands. It's all over my trousers. It's been chaos, right? Now, usually I would persevere and I would say, this window's got to be perfect. I'm going to keep going because sometimes when you're a perfectionist, it's not because you get it right first time and you want to get it right. It's because you actually persevere and keep going until it's perfect. And that's a huge lesson in life because it just wastes so much time. So I've tried it 3 times and I've actually had to clean the window, step away and say, this just isn't for me because it's not a great thing, Nick. It's absolutely appalling. And that was my non perfect moment. I thought I'd be such a good parent, get the window ready for when they get home. No, horrendous.
Do you know what? I was looking forward to that story after the call. I've just got a couple of minutes back in my life, but I don't know if you could hear me chuckling away there because I did think like Jesus. I can imagine the mess, and it's interesting because I found talking to lots of different people that perfectionism takes two different routes. Like the route that I used to be on is exactly the same as yours, Vic. Like just basically work yourself to the ground until you've accomplished the thing that you need to accomplish, never quitting and saying it's just not worth it. Or that's good enough. They're like two options. But the other path that I see people who struggle with perfectionism going down is it creates such a barrier that they don't even start spraying the window because they're concerned about whether it's going to be good enough. And they never find out whether it's something that they can accomplish or not accomplish because they're so busy worrying about, have I got the right tools? Have I watched enough YouTube videos? Like, I don't know where to start. Like, if it's not good enough, what will people think? And all of those things kind of rob you of the opportunity you had today, Vic, to learn that that is not a strength.
It is not a strength, and it's going to go in the box that it's going to be left for the kids to do. And that's going to be a really good activity that I know I can't do any better. And that's fine. That's, it's the difference like Christmas. I have an adult tree, all of my beautiful little baubles. Kids are not allowed to touch it. The kids have their own wonderful little tree. They can do what they want on that whenever they want. And it's everything has its little place in my house. Kids have some freedom. I have some freedom.
I'm gonna like we can tag team on this, Vic. What would you say are things that have helped you? Because I worded it like that I'm a recovering perfectionist, and I genuinely think you are too. I'm gonna brag and say that I'm further along the journey than you. I think this is newer to you, and I've probably got like 5 years. Like if they're giving out like the little badges like they do at AA, like I reckon I'd have like a 5 year badge, and I don't think you've got like a 1 year badge yet. Like so, just bragging like here. But what would you say are things that help you when you're tempted to go back to that perfectionist route?
So I've got my 6 months badge, right? It's a 6 month badge, but there's still going to be some relapse. So here's the thing. I have to sometimes force myself. So let's take a prime example. Cleaning the house. We'll use a house example and then I'll use a business example. So give two ends of the sword. So cleaning the house used to have to be mess free, clean, sorted, organised for me to even be able to start work. Because if my house wasn't sorted, my brain wasn't sorted, I couldn't start work. It was that was the way it had to be. I've had to really train myself of I don't need a pristine house to start working because I can just work. Like you don't have to do things in that order. And it also doesn't have to be a show home all of the time because you get stuck in this sort of Instagram life, especially. You'll find this, and I'm going to say it's an age thing, right? Because people in their late 20s, early 30s, we see Instagram come and we thought this was a brand new way of life, right? We thought this is the way you should be. Anyone over the age of 30, mid 30s, 40 plus, you haven't really got caught in that trap because you were a little bit further along. Anyone prior to that, all about self-love and self-care and you sort of got over it. But it's this little trap that we got ourselves in. And it's thinking that everything online was real. People sharing a beautiful coffee cup in a beautiful clean kitchen and but realistically their house would be a pigsty behind them. It's just not what they're sharing. So you get stuck in that my life's got to be like this, otherwise I'm not worthy. And that's a huge thing. So for me to overcome that, I really had to retrain my thoughts with, is this real life or is this Instagram? Now, it could be Facebook, TikTok, social media, whatever, but it's Instagram life, right? That's just the tag phrase I use. Is this real life or is this Instagram? Is this person living their true self, living, by their values and their morals, or are they just showing up for the internet? And here's the thing, when you stop trying to be someone else, that perfectionism actually stops as well. Because who are you being perfect for? Are you actually being perfect for yourself? Or are you doing it because that's what you want people to see? Now, I'm really open and honest with everything that I do. I'm far too honest with everything, to be honest, but it's the way I am. It's that relatable journey that I'm on, and it's the way that I just want people to see me. But I want people to see the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between, because I'm a real person. And I think overcoming that perfectionism, I had to just remember that people are real. And it was a huge, huge step in my life, Nick. Huge, huge. And also, it was exhausting. It's
Yeah.
exhausted.
And I think if you don't mind, I'd love to take the business example um on this one, because what I really want to be able to do in these little lives that we're doing is, for me, it's really important that people understand why Vic and I've gone into business together, because of this whole, it's so clear in our minds, right, that we bring 180 from two different perspectives together to make up 360. And it's really interesting listening to Vic. I was nodding away, like, while she was talking about it being like this whole Instagram thing being a younger person's thing. I mean, I started to well up a little bit because it means I'm really old, because I've never fallen into that trap. Like, it's my, like, my biggest badge of honor is, like, if I've brushed my hair for you, like, you're lucky. I really, you're getting me, you're not getting the look, the image, and it never will be important to me, because I actually believe that I bring enough to the table without needing to pluck my eyebrows to prove that I'm a better person or something. I digress. Anyway, so I avoided that Instagram trying to pretend that I'm somebody else. But my perfectionism, like, came from a completely different angle, of coming from quite a high achieving family with really high expectations, and I don't know, some kind of, like, childhood trauma, guilt trip stuff, of never being good enough to get that approval. But I found in my work life, and certainly in my career, that if I put myself out and put more effort in, um, I got recognised, I got promotions, I got pay rises. That all that did for me as an individual was feed into the perfectionist of, like, I know, like, where Vic gave that example about the snow scene, if that was a work thing for me, I'd have just done it again and again and again and again, like, till 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, until I got it right. Because to me, I wanted to get that recognition of, like, look what I've done, somebody acknowledging that I can reach that perfectionism. And the only result, Vic, you said it's tiring. The only result for me was absolute burnout, because it's not sustainable, maintainable, and it's not even achievable perfectionism. That's the funniest, saddest thing about perfectionism. It isn't actually achievable because it doesn't exist. Therefore, you're chasing, like, how do I be perfect at work? How do I be the perfect insert job title? Like, it just doesn't exist. So you're chasing something that isn't real. But I then found, when I became self-employed, that I took those behaviors and put them into my business, because they were now learned behaviors. So I would genuinely be pushing and driving my business with a stonking headache, feeling like just empty, but determined to do it. And I've had to teach myself, like Vicky's teaching herself, that it's okay. There's a couple of phrases. One is the biggest trigger for me that I now find funny, but at the time wasn't, which is the word adequate. So a mentor of mine highlighted a part of my business that I was adequate in, which I heard as an insult, like the biggest insult on the planet, that I could be adequate in something. But that set off a really brilliant personal growth spot for me of realizing that actually if you play to your strengths, this feeds into what Vic was talking about yesterday with where we're matching tasks up for your mood. If you play to your strengths and you allow yourself to be brilliant at your strengths, not perfect, just brilliant, there are other aspects that you can be adequate in, and you don't need to waste any energy on those because adequate is plenty because your strength shines through. And I think in business, the best advice that I could ever give you is to just press that pause button and just have a look at all of the things that you think you should be doing and almost rank them on like which one am I like brilliant at and have I built my business around my strength and which ones are okay to be adequate in. And if you fall below adequate in something, best advice ever, pay somebody else to do that. It's not worth your inner peace, your sanity, knickering yourself, beating yourself up, because it'll impact the things that you're brilliant at. And that's the one thing you don't want to impact is your natural strength, because we all have them. We absolutely all have them. That's my rant for the day.
I
Done.
love it. You were seriously on that soapbox there, weren't you?
Yeah.
But I think it all just aligns, right? And it doesn't matter what element of your life that you strive for perfectionism, it always bites you back on the bum in one way or another. Because whether you're working, you're in your home life, whether you're trying to be the perfect parent, whether you're trying to perfect the diet because you want a six pack in January, like whatever it is, if you're trying to do everything perfectly, it's never going to happen. And it is sad because you could, let's take, I don't know, weight loss, getting fit, January, right? It's always a deal. Everyone's like, right, I'm gonna get Christmas out of the way, I'm gonna eat 25 pigs in blankets, I'm gonna finish this massive packet of sharing bag crisps, and then come the 1st of January, that's it. I'm done. 1st of January comes and oh, I haven't bought any running trainers for the gym, so I'm not going to bother eating healthy today. I haven't done my meal plan for the week, so I'll do it next week. What about actually if you just introduce some fruit and vegetables into your diet more than carbs and other stuff and cut out the crisps, just made one thing different and then did the gym when you got some new trainers a week later? What's going to have the most impact? Not doing anything at all because you're striving to perfection, or doing it imperfectly along the way, and actually you're going to get some results. And that's how to reframe your brain. That's how I've reframed my brain. And that's exactly how you get out of this vicious cycle of being perfect. It's things that you won't even realize you are doing until you literally stop and think about everything that you do.
And I think you're spot on, Vic, and that same principle into the business element of your life of like, oh, I can't go and promote my business today because I need a haircut. I can't go and do this sales pitch because I've not practiced enough. We are really good at using those perfectionist things as reasons to stop us from doing something. It, it it's like permission to procrastinate. And when you remove that perfectionism out, like you're kind of left faced with the, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? Am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? Because you're stopping kidding yourself with those excuses. But I think the most liberating thing when you work on that perfectionism, the most liberating thing is you have more energy, so much more energy for things that are more important, whether that's in your personal life, whether it's your health and well-being, or whether it's your business. I've got a mantra. I like to have a mantra every year of things that like I'm going to work on. This year has been I'm going to work more. No, I'm going to achieve more in less time. I got it the right way round. Because I will work. I'm workaholic. I'll work every hour that God sends, and I've absolutely pushed myself on being comfortable with not needing to work every hour and still accomplish massive things. And I've already decided next year's mantra because it's really important to me, and that is just because I can doesn't mean I should. Do you know what? If you just employ that thought process before everything and anything, it's going to make your life a lot easier, an awful lot easier, if you're the type of person who's driven to push themselves too hard. If you're a lazy so and so, that mantra isn't going to support you. Not one bit, one tiny bit. So it is really, if you're the type of person who's really quite hard on themselves, pushes themselves too far, just because I can doesn't mean I should, is a brilliant mantra.
Love that. Absolutely love that. And I think that sort of concludes today's lesson. But just wanted to cover one little thing off, and it's understanding what perfectionism is one thing, but also ensuring you have the tools to overcome that is another. And little things like, I don't want to show up online without washing my hair. That used to be me until my confidence increased. So, increasing my confidence about being happy in myself and increasing that, just that knowledge, what's behind everything, actually, that really helped overcome some boundaries I had when I needed to overcome that perfectionism. God, that's a lot of words I've just said there. But it's just take a step back and just have a look at what is it you want to actually achieve? Does it need to be all the way up here? Or is it okay here because you're more balanced? And just have a little think.
I think you just implied that we're balanced.
Yeah.
Hmm. I'm loving this series and I can't wait for tomorrow for you to throw some random topic at me.
You wait.
Take care, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.